This week, a legacy RV component supplier files for bankruptcy. A fire breaks out at a Camping World dealership as the company faces new financial scrutiny. Two Australian RV builders make their US debut, and a new hybrid RV trailer is on the way from a team of former Anker engineers. Plus, some state parks are struggling with weekday camping. Thanksgiving travel could get messy. Millions of Americans plan to RV through the holidays, and year-end rebates are popping up from major RV manufacturers. All that and more coming up. I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. First up, 66-year-old RV refrigerator maker Norcold has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with a plan of liquidating its assets, which are valued at $10 to $50 million, while the company has debt totaling about 10 times that. Founded in 1959, Norcold manufactured primarily absorption refrigerators for RVs and boats, which could run off of propane. The RV industry has moved nearly entirely to DC electric compressor refrigerators over the course of the past 6 or 7 years, and even though Norcold sold DC refrigerators, their large market share for absorption fridges was what fueled the company. In addition, a recall in 2010 for Norcold fridges with an elevated fire risk led to the company transitioning from being a manufacturer to a distributor. Product liability lawsuits led to costly settlements and defense costs. Norcold's net sales declined 60% between 2022 and 2023, and the company closed its manufacturing plant in Ohio in 2022, laying off 500 full-time employees. Manufacturing was transitioned to foreign affiliates. The company's liquidation plan involves selling its assets to Dave Carter and Associates, a national distributor of RV components. The sale will allow parts to remain stocked to supply dealers for future repairs of Norcold refrigeration units. At around 11:35 last Tuesday, the Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department was called to fight a blaze at a Camping World dealership. Crews found 11 trailers fully engulfed in flames in a secured parking lot and had to call in assistance from neighboring fire departments. As crews battled the fire, several propane tanks exploded. The fire was contained in about an hour. No injuries were reported, and the cause is still under investigation. Camping World is the nation's largest RV dealership chain, and their parent company, Camping World Holdings, is facing a different kind of problem: a potential shareholder class action lawsuit. Law firm Seamus and Gentile PA is investigating whether Camping World and certain executives made false or misleading statements or failed to disclose material information regarding the company's financial reporting and accounting for deferred tax assets between February and October of this year. Throughout 2025, Camping World disclosed that management had identified prior period misstatements in the deferred tax asset of its operating subsidiary, CWGS LLC. I know it's a mouthful. These errors were first referenced in the company's 2024 Form 10-K and described as not material, but later corrections revealed a $43.8 million increase in deferred tax assets. On April 29th, Camping World announced first quarter results and again referenced the misstatements. On October 28th, the company released its third quarter results and disclosed further adjustments related to the tax accounting errors. The next day, Camping World stock fell 24.8%, resulting in significant losses for investors. The firm says it's investigating whether Camping World adequately disclosed the scope and impact of the deferred tax asset misstatements and whether investors were properly informed about the potential need for balance sheet corrections. More in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. Get a real mattress for your RV instead of the cheap piece of foam that it came with at RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding. They sell real mattresses in all the odd sizes RVs require, like short kings, Olympic queens, odd bunk sizes, different thicknesses, and more. Their mattresses are toxin-free, made in their factory in Arizona, and shipped to you vacuum-sealed wherever you are. You just unwrap them and let them expand. They have a 120-night sleep trial, free shipping, and a limited lifetime warranty. But the best part is the RV Miles community gets 30% off, the best deal they ever offer, any day of the year with code RVMiles at RVmattress.com/RVMiles. That's RVmattress.com/RVMiles with code RVMiles at checkout for 30% off. Two Australian RV manufacturers are entering the U.S. market. Premium off-road trailer manufacturer Titanium Caravans showed off a U.S. edition of one of its floor plans at the SEMA show in Las Vegas. Titanium's trailers come with a self-leveling airbag suspension, disc brakes, a one-piece roof system, and large battery and solar packages. They're built on a riveted aluminum frame. This is a company I've been following for a while now, and I really like their units. They're very utilitarian, lots of components and things to do on the outside while still looking incredibly stylish on the inside. And Urban X campers, known as Urban Caravans in Australia, showed off 2 units at the SEMA show. According to the folks at RV Business, the move to deliver units to the US follows a recent increase in production capacity for the company, whose chassis, cabinetry, electrics, and assembly are all done in-house. The North American lineup includes the dual-axle Tungsten Extreme X at about 7,000 pounds and the single-axle pop-top Tungsten Armor Light at just under 5,000 pounds. 6 configurable floor plans are offered in each model, and exterior lengths range from 16 to 22 feet. The company offers a 10-year frame and structural warranty. Their suspensions use a trailing arm layout with adjustable airbags and remote electronic control of those airbags to allow for adaptive ride height and shock tuning on the fly. Its ground clearance is 25 inches. Urban X trailers come with robust power systems as well. Freshwater capacity is up to 87 gallons for a small trailer, and a composting toilet is standard. A new California startup called Evotrex, founded by former Anker employees, has raised $16 million in pre-A funding to develop a hybrid RV trailer designed for long-term off-grid camping. Anker makes power supplies, phone chargers, backup batteries, stuff like that. So these are former employees of that company. The trailer will have a powered axle, like we've seen some other trailer startups like Pebble and Lightship have, which should help EVs or even smaller gas tow vehicles with the range and power needed to tow one. And like those other brands, it will use a large battery system to power that axle and cabin power. But it will also have an onboard gas engine that acts as a generator to recharge the battery and extend range even while you're driving. Sort of like a plug-in hybrid car, but it's a trailer. Evotrex told TechCrunch that the gas motor is quieter and more efficient than typical generators and can also route its excess heat to warm the cabin. The company's leaning into the appeal of hybrid tech as EV adoption slows and more buyers show interest in hybrid versus full electric options. Evotrex plans a full review at the 2026 Consumer Electronics Show, with reservations opening January 6th and first deliveries expected late next year. South Dakota State Park officials say weekday camping has dropped, and they plan to focus on reversing the trend. From May 11th to August 24th, weekday stays were down about 9% compared to the 3-year average. The state will roll out new marketing and program efforts to keep state parks top of mind for spontaneous travelers. Private campgrounds along the Missouri River may have also drawn some campers away. Some private parks in the region have expanded rapidly, one growing from just a few sites to around 1,400 sites. Overall, camping in state parks is down 5% for the year, with weather, construction, and road closures cited as contributing factors. Weekend camping dipped about 3%, but officials say their main concern is weekday use. You may have heard there appears to be a deal to end the federal government shutdown. That deal is going to take a little time to actually coalesce and get the government back open. Meanwhile, there are growing issues at American airports, which could make Thanksgiving travel on America's roads even more difficult. Reductions went into effect Friday at 40 high-traffic airports in what officials say is an attempt to relieve pressure amid the record-long government shutdown. The FAA mandated flight reductions affected 4% of flights this past weekend. That will ramp up to 6% by tomorrow, November 11th, 8% by Thursday, and up to 10% by Friday. The average delay at New Jersey's Newark Airport was 2 hours and 14 minutes on Sunday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has said that an end to the government shutdown would not immediately restore air traffic controllers because it will take time for them to return to work. Duffy on Sunday said that travel will be, quote, reduced to a trickle ahead of Thanksgiving, warning that many will not be able to spend the holiday with their families. About 9% of Thanksgiving travelers typically fly in the U.S., nearly 6 million people. Reduced flights could have many more people taking to America's roadways Thanksgiving week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday of Thanksgiving week tend to be the busiest travel days, especially afternoons near big cities. And looking on toward winter, the RV Industry Association says that 28 million Americans are expected to go RVing this holiday season, a 33% increase from last year. The latest data from the RV Industry Association's Holiday Travel Intention Survey shows, quote, in a season when travel can feel unpredictable and overwhelming, RVing puts travelers back in the driver's seat, said Monica Geraci, RV Industry Association spokesperson. Whether you're parked at the base of a ski slope in Colorado, visiting family along the coast, or chasing sunshine with your pets in tow, RVing delivers the comfort of home and the freedom to roam without cancellations, delays, or stress that often come with other forms of travel. Clearly, they're trying to capitalize on the fact that air travel is a little concerning for folks right now. 28 million Americans know that just because it's winter doesn't mean you have to hang up your keys. The survey showed that this holiday season, 9 million Americans at Thanksgiving and 7 million at Christmas plan to go RVing. And of those RV travelers, more than half plan to stay in their RVs for Thanksgiving, 52%, and nearly half for Christmas, 48%, while visiting friends and family. And 4 in 10 plan to use their RV as guest quarters for guests or while they're visiting friends and family to reduce holiday crowding. Hipcamp is quickly becoming the largest website to book a campsite at, and they grew even larger this past week with the announcement of a strategic partnership with Sun Outdoors, one of North America's largest owners and operators of RV resorts and campgrounds. The collaboration brings 100 Sun Outdoors parks, including more than 20 Jellystone parks, to the Hipcamp app. Earlier this year, in May, Hipcamp doubled its U.S. inventory to more than 500,000 campsites, what the company says is the largest catalog of campgrounds, RV parks, and unique camping experiences available, all accessible through a single app. And finally, 2 major RV manufacturers are offering rebates as the year closes out, something I've rarely seen, at least marketed at this level. Grand Design RV is offering between $2,000 and $2,500 rebates for purchases of any new 2024 or 2025 Solitude, Influence, or Momentum fifth wheel between now and December 31st. There are some 2024s still on lots out there. 2026 models have been rolling out, so these rebates do not include those. Alliance RV is offering up to $2,025 in cashback incentives for any new 2025 model year units, including its Paradigm, Valor, and Avenue fifth wheels, as well as its Delta travel trailers. Both companies' rebate programs are direct to consumer, meaning it's not something the dealer can play around with. You submit for it online and get a check. Of course, visit the company's website for all the details, because I'm not going to read all the fine print. That's it for this RV and camping news roundup. Thanks so much for being here. If you got something out of this video, hit the like button. If you want more, like it, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Hey, thanks so much again for being here. If you like what we do, consider becoming a Mile Marker member. Mile Markers are our paid support community. $7 a month or $70 a year, and you get additional podcast episodes. We have a private Facebook group. We do a monthly live stream. We have a book club. We cook through a cookbook every year. We do fantasy football. You get discounts on our events and more. But really, it's just a way to help us do what we do. So if you like what we do and you want to support it, I hope you'll join. You can find out more at rvmiles.com/milemarker or click the link in the description below.